Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Om Tat Sat. Om Agyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vranda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, good evening, or should I say good night? At the end of the session, I'll say good night.
Hare Krishna and Pranams Maharaj.
Nice to meet with all of you. I hope some of you are able to keep up with the little change in schedule for some time. That is Thursdays instead of Friday. So, welcome to all of you, and I'm going to quickly share with you today's session, because today we're going to open up the 11th chapter. So we're going to see if we can do as much as we can, not just 1:10 verses, because a lot of this is inside a little description of the universal form. So I think all of you have heard about Vishwarupa, universal form, quite often. More than often, maybe. Normally in ISKCON lingo, when somebody gets very angry, we'll say, oh, he's showing his Vishwarupam. Don't go near him now, he's showing his Vishwarupa. When somebody gets a little too angry, we'll tell him, wow, he's giving Vishwarupa darshan, don't go there. We use it as a sideline just to show. But actually, Krishna was not angry when he showed it, but it was Gora Rupam. It was terrifying. It made Arjuna very, very afraid, because it was a sudden shift. The same person was sitting next to him with a whip in his hand and with the flute in his hand and speaking amazing instructions to him. And then he even made the mistake of, can I see all that stuff that you spoke about? So I call this the audio visual chapters 10 and 11. 10 is audio and 11 is visual. So we are going to briefly go through an introduction to this. If you have the 11th chapter in front of you open, please open the wonderful Bhagavad Gita as it is. I'm so interested that you at least touch the Bhagavad Gita every day. Who knows? You may be sleeping next to it. You may be cuddling next to it. You may be very interested in reading, but I'm just making sure that you open the Bhagavad Gita and touch it and read it every day. Prabhupada said, even if you touch it, your spiritual life will start. If you read one word, your spiritual life will start. If you read one sentence, one paragraph, he said it will start. So in an attempt to actually make you all closer, physically closer at least, with the Bhagavad Gita, I think if you have had this thing in front of you, it will be nice to open up. So you know what happened in the 10th chapter, right? This is what happened in the 10th chapter, if you remember, right? A quick review, a quick recap. Krishna spoke about his greatness, opulences in the first 7 slokas. Then he goes ahead and speaks the famous Chatushloki Bhagavatam, that everything is coming from me, and then I show mercy from inside your heart, I destroy, all that beautiful shlokas that we read. And then this essential information about him is given, and about devotional service. Then Arjuna immediately gets excited and he says, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham, Shashvatam, Divyam, Krishna. Arjuna glorifies Krishna. And then he tells, please tell me some more about you. It's exciting to hear. I'm never happy, I'll never be satiated hearing this. So Krishna speaks more. He satisfies Arjuna. And he speaks, the whole table among Himalayas, among mountains, I'm Himalayas, among rivers, I'm Ganges, among, demons, I'm Prahalada. Like that, he gives a lot of understanding more. And then finally, Krishna concludes by 2 shlokas, Adava Bahunaitena Kim Gyatena Tavarjuna Drishtabhyahamidam Krishnam ekamshena sthito jagat. He said, it's enough for you to understand what need is there for me to tell you all these things, because my opulence is very huge. I don't think you can accommodate it so easily. It's enough for you to know that with a single fragment of myself, I pervade this entire universe. In this way, we concluded the greatness of Krishna, the Vibhuti Yoga chapter. Okay? So that leads to the universal form chapter. I told you that's audio, that's over. Then Arjuna, being a very, very intelligent person, he actually tells Krishna, thank you very much. It's amazing that you're telling me all this. My illusion is dispelled. And he requests Krishna, I want to see a visual format of that. If you can, please show me. And then Lord Krishna describes his universal form and gives Arjuna divine eyes to see it. This is what happens in the next few shlokas. So, keeping this in mind as a background, let us just read shloka 1. You'll see. Arjuna vacha mad anugrahaya paramam guhyam adhyatma samagnitam yatva yoktam vachastena moho ayam vigato mama. Arjuna said, by my hearing the instructions you have kindly given me about these most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has now been dispelled. Your illusion gets dispelled by hearing about the opulences of Krishna, and you become enlightened. Here is Prabhupada saying so. The simple thing Prabhupada says in the purport is, you hear about Krishna's greatness and his opulences, your illusion is dispelled. It's a simple formula. It's a very simple formula. Shanavatam swakatha Krishna punya shavana kirtana hridiyantastohi abhadrani vidunoti sukrit satam. The Srimad Bhagavatam says this beautiful shloka. Shanavatam, if you give ears to hearing, Shanavatam swakatha Krishna katha. Shanavatam Krishna katha Krishna punya shavana kirtana. And here is glorification, kirti. Hridiyantastohi abhadrani, all the dirty things in the heart will be destroyed. Vidunoti sukrit satam, and the devotee becomes enlightened. Right? This you must remember very well. Whenever you get a chance to hear Hari Kirtan, the chanting of the holy name in Harinam Sankirtan, somebody, actually bona fide person speaking the Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavat, pastimes of Krishna, you must immediately take opportunity and hear it. And then you will see Krishna, O lotus-eyed one, the second shloka. Bhavapya yogi bhutanam shruto vitsaro maya tvataha kamalapatraksha mahatmiyamapi chavyayam. O lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity and have realized your inexhaustible glories. In text 3, evam yetat yatat tattvam Atmanam Parameshwara Drashtum Michami Te Rupam Aishwaram Purushottama. He's asking Purushottama, O greatest of personalities. So who wants to read this? Sandhya Natarajanji, can you read that? Translation on the screen.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah. Can you see the screen?
Yes. O greatest of all personalities, O supreme form, though I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described you yourself, I wish to see you how I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see you. I want to see that form of yours.
Okay. Thank you. So, whatever you described now in the 10th chapter and your glories and greatness, I am the mountain, I am the sky, I am the Airavata elephant, I am Vasuki, the snake, everything. Can I see it visually? He's asking. Actually, somebody will think this is a crazy request. But no, you see what Prabhupada is saying? He's saying, okay, somebody can read that. Sujita, you want to read that? Prabhupada's quote here on the screen.
Hare Krishna. As far as Arjuna is concerned, he is inspired by the statements of Krishna but in order to convince others in the future who may think that Krishna is an ordinary person, Arjuna desires to see him actually in his universal form. Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So it is not that he does not believe in it. But he knows one thing, that in the future guys will say that, oh, so all sorts of stuff he said about himself, and who's going to believe that? So one thing is to hear it, the other thing is actually to see it. But not everybody gets that opportunity. You can go in front of the Lord and say, okay, come on, show your universal form if you want me to believe in you. If you want me to come to the temple, show me a universal form. I don't think you're qualified. Why should the Lord take the trouble to come and show you the universal form? Who are you? One tiny speck and nobody. And nobody. But Arjuna is very special. Whatever Arjuna asks for, Krishna will give. Because they are very close. So it's a great service that Arjuna did, that he asked Krishna, please better show this the visual form. Huh? That's the best thing, because the guys will doubt what you said. So this is the underlying thing that Acharyas have commented. Because it's not that Arjuna is wanting to see it because he doesn't believe in it. He has seen, even before he has seen. And he has heard about the fact that Krishna has shown his universal form to Mother Yashoda in the mouth. All the children came and complained. Even today you can go to that place where he ate dirt from the Yamuna. His mother had given a wonderful tiffin carrier full of all sorts of goodies. And what he did know, he went where everybody is eating to the Yamuna and started eating the Yamuna dirt. Actually, there is lots of commentaries on what it is. It's actually Bhumi. It's actually Yamuna. And he's associating with both their wives. One is Bhumi, one is Yamuna. Right? So he was eating that and enjoying it. And they all say, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's eating dirt. And there's a big commotion. And then he purposely ate it again. And he was grinning at them. And all his teeth are all full of dirt. Just mud from the Yamuna. And he was just funny because they were all agitated. He ate more of it. Kids become very, when you all make a shout, you want to do something, he did it more. And then when he came back home, they all first went to Yashoda and said, Krishna ate mud. From the Yamuna, he ate mud. Everybody started complaining. He ate mud. Yes, he went. Said, no, I did not eat anything like that. And then he said, no, he did. He did. Each one came and said, no, he did. He did. Kids are kids. They're very straightforward. They came and said that to Yashoda. And Yashoda got a little doubt. And she looked at him. Then immediately he made a wonderful face. Ma, they're all telling lies. They're all telling lies. Why will I eat mud? You've given me such a wonderful tiffin carrier full of all sorts of goodies. Why will I eat mud? They're telling lies. And then she immediately believed him. Krishna speaks so sweetly. And he speaks so convincingly. It's mentioned in the Bhagavatam, there's a shloka that says it's a very good speaker. And the gopis will soon, when he speaks, and he get completely convinced, 102% they'll get convinced. Yashoda also was very convinced. And then Balaram came very close to Yashoda and said, he did it. He ate the mud. Now Balaram says she will believe because she has told Balaram, look after him. And even Rohini is told to Balaram, look after Krishna. Because he tends to do all sorts of mischief and is uncontrollable. And Balaram is more sober. He's also equally mischievous, but when it comes to certain things, he becomes the elder brother and says, don't do it. Then Krishna will listen to him. His elder brother. So Balaram came and told Yashoda very assertively, yes, he did it. I saw him. Means it is a real complaint. Then Yashoda said, open your mouth. She took the stick and said, open your mouth. And then he said, well, I did not open your mouth. I want to see it. So he opened the mouth. Okay, you want to see my mouth? Here, take it. Opened and showed his mouth. And inside the mouth, it was not just dirt. So what do you speak of dirt? Everything is inside my mouth. Right? Everything. Aham sarvasya prabho matas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajate mam budabhava samanvita. Did he not say that in the Chatushloki in the 10th chapter? In the 8th shloka, he said that. Everything is coming from me. Why only dirt? Everything is inside me. So here, you want to see it? Then he said, I'll tease my mom a little bit. I'll actually show her that I'm God. She doesn't care that I'm God also. It doesn't matter to her. All she knows is, my child, in Vatsalya Rasa. She cannot see he is God. All she's got so much affection for him in Vatsalya Prema that she doesn't care that he is God also. So, said, no, I had a little fun with my mom. So he opened his mouth, and inside the mouth he showed the entire creation. The planets, the galaxies, the Vishnus, the everything, and he just zoomed in and showed that in this universe, you are looking into my mouth also. She saw inside his mouth. That's the amazing thing. She saw inside the mouth and found that she is looking into his mouth. That movie is there inside his mouth. Imagine how alarm she became. And she was saying, what's happening? And then he saw his mom getting extremely disturbed. What's going on in my son's mouth? And then he quickly, when Balaram also became conscious, something is going on here, my mom is, and when he started again, he quickly disappeared and said, no, it's okay, mom. Like that, he closed his mouth. He showed universal form to his mother, although it was not required there. Then he showed universal form to Duryodhana when he went as a messenger to Hastinapura to convey Yudhishthira Maharaja's message that please don't fight here, let's make it out together. And that time Duryodhana had already planned. When he comes, we'll capture him and put him inside. He's the reason for everything. So he had his all army lined up and all that, the foolish Duryodhana. He wanted to capture Krishna. And then Bhishma got very angry and told Dhritarashtra, control your son. You know what he is doing? You know, he's a messenger, he's a guest, and he's trying to do all these things. First of all, that is wrong. And then who is he doing it to? He's doing it to Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead. What a foolish reception this is. And Dhritarashtra did not say anything, as usual, to his son. So Duryodhana tried to do it, and then he went into the sky and showed him, you know who I am? Whom are you trying to capture? By the way, he had already... So definitely Arjuna knows about the fact that he can show his universal form, but here he is publicly asking on the battlefield, please show the universal form. Right? So there is a reason behind it. And that's the reason that Prabhupada is giving. As far as Arjuna is concerned, he is inspired by the statements of Krishna. That is enough. He doesn't need the visual aspect of it. But in the future, people will say, I am God, that, this, everything. So you'll see in the purport, Prabhupada will say, anybody who claims to be God should be able to show his universal form. It's a real bomb. He said that, okay, fine, you're God, I accept, now show your universal form. That's what Arjuna has done. I am great, I am this, I am that, everything Krishna said, he said, okay, now show it. Because people who are really not having great faith will demand gross proof of stuff. Right? Just like Jesus Christ has to show miracles in order to make people believe in him. Something magical you should do if you're a Swamiji. When I travel, those days in the trains I used to travel, the guy will be keeping on looking at him. He'll see me chanting japa. Then after some time, Swamiji, can I talk to you for a minute? I said, yeah, what? Can you see my hand? He immediately pushed the hand. Can you see my hand and tell me what will happen in the future? I said, I don't read hands. I'm not good. You don't know? You're not astrology, you don't know? I said, I don't know. Oh, really? I only know how to chant japa. Then I told him that as I keep chanting japa, all the lines in my hand changes. Our founder said, better you chant japa, you can change your horoscope. I would say like that, immediately they'll withdraw and say, it's okay, I'll chant japa and all that, fine. But the default mode is all Swamijis should do some trick, should be able to do something amazing, fantastic, not ordinary. Right? So if you claim to be God, you must definitely show your universal form. Okay? That was Arjuna's way of proving who is God. This way, manyase yadi chachakyam maya drashtum iti prabho yogeshwara tato me tvam darshayatmanam avyayam. If you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self. If you think I can see it with my eyes. And to which Krishna says, the answer. Text 5, Shri Bhagavan Pashya me partha rupani shatasho ata sahasrashah nana vidhani divyani nana varna kritini cha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, O son of Pritha, see now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of varied, divine and multicolored forms. O best of the Bharatas, see here the different manifestations of Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras, and all the other demigods. Behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard before. O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything, moving and non-moving, is here completely in one place. You cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence. Yes, you can see. Look at my fantastic form that I described to you. You'll be able to see, but you can't see it with these eyes. I'll give you special eyes. And by Krishna's blessing, Arjuna got very special eyes. Okay. Here is a quote of Prabhupada, very interesting, which I think you should read. Okay. Priya?
Yes, Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Yeah, go ahead.
Krishna is not obliged to reveal himself unless one surrenders fully in Krishna consciousness and engages in devotional service. Thus, it is not possible for persons who depend on the strength of their mental speculations to see Krishna. Hare.
Thank you. Don't depend on your mental speculation to be able to see Krishna. Very important. Your intellect, your capacity to speculate, your knowledge and all that is not going to help you to see Krishna, but devotional service. And thus Arjuna is on a very top level in devotional service. And his request is being catered to by Krishna. This way, Krishna opens up and shows his amazing universal form. Then several shlokas will describe what Arjuna sees, and several shlokas, there's a description from Sanjaya. And the 9th shloka says, Sanjaya vacha, evam uktva tato rajan mahayogeshvaro harihi darshayam asha parthaya paramam rupam aishwaram. Sanjaya said, O king, having spoken thus, the supreme lord of all mystic power, personality of God, had displayed his universal form to Arjuna. What did Arjuna see? What did he see? You can see that here. What did he see? In 11th shloka, 10 to 11. You can read that on the screen in the second paragraph. You can see 10 to 11. Mahalila, would you like to read that?
Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many divine upraised weapons. He wore celestial garments, garlands and garments, and many divine scents were smeared over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, all expanding. 11.10 to 11.
Yes. Then further, you can read this. D. Nair, is it Dr. Nair?
Hare Krishna Maharaj is D. Nair.
Yes,
Deepa
please
Nair.
read.
O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah. As Arjuna, there's a whole description of what Arjuna sees. You can go to Shloka 12. Divya Sura Sahasrasya Bhavet Yugapat Uttita Yadi bahas sadrishi sasyad bhashas tasya mahatmanah. If hundreds of thousands of suns were to rise at once in the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. Then tatraikastam jagat krishnam pravibhaktam anekada apashyat deva devasya sharire pandavastada. At that time, Arjuna could see the universal form of the Lord, the unlimited expansions of the universe, situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands. So there's a description of what Arjuna actually saw, which I will ask you to read as a homework. You read, it's very interesting. Because you see here, then bewildered and astonished in text 14, his hair standing out an end, Arjuna bowed his head to offer obeisances and with folded hands began to pray to the Supreme Lord. Arjuna vacha pashyami devam stava deva dehe sarvam stata bhuta vishesha sanghan brahmanam isham kamalashanastam rishimscha sarvan urugamscha divyan. Arjuna said, my dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled in your body all the demigods and various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus floor as well as Lord Shiva and all the sages and divine serpents. If you look at this list of things that Arjuna sees, it'll be amazing because all we can do now is not see the form. We can see a picture of it. And we can see Arjuna's description of the universal form because he's actually giving a running commentary of what he is seeing. Live commentary of what he is seeing. If you read that, you will also get the feeling of what he is watching with the special eyes given by Krishna to him. Divya Chakshu. What he is seeing is a very deep description of that. Aneka bahudra vaktra netram pashyami tvam sarvato anantarupam na antam na madhyam na punastvavadim Pashyami Vishveshvara Vishvarupa. O Lord of the universe, O universal form, I see in you your body, many, many arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes expanded everywhere without limit. I see in you no end, no middle, no beginning. Your form is difficult, 17th translation. Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence, spreading on all sides like blazing fire, or the immeasurable radiance of the sun. Yet I see this glowing form everywhere adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs. So you will see that Arjuna will go on describing what all he is seeing. And gradually what will happen to him is, as he is describing what he is seeing, he'll actually get afraid. He'll slowly get afraid. Oh my gosh, what is this? Did I ask everything in one place? And I'm seeing it so amazingly effulgent and so scary because he sees all the sons of Dhritarashtra, Bhishma, Drona, Karna are all rushing into fearful mouths. And I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth. He's seeing them all die. Text 26 to 27, you will see. He's seeing all of the Kauravas dying, including Bhishma, Drona, everybody. In other words, Krishna is showing a fast forward quickly of what's going to happen in the Mahabharata war. Right? It's because he's got a purpose in showing that also. What is Krishna's purpose in showing all these things also? He has got, whenever he does something, it's like multitasking. He gets multi things done in one shot. So rivers are flowing inside. And people are rushing into full speed into your mouth. You're devouring everybody from all sides with your flaming mouth and your effulgence, and everything is terrible. That's why he's asking this. Oh, Lord of Lords of fears of form, please tell me, who are you? Now things have changed, you see. He got afraid. When he got afraid, he said, I never knew. I thought you were just my charioteer sitting on my chariot with a flute and this thing in your hand. But who are you actually? I'm visually seeing it now. Can you imagine your situation there? Huh? Very casually, your friend suddenly shows you, want to see it? Huh? Here, boom. And it's not just a holographic show. It's not just one of those shows in, you went to Disney's World in Florida and you went to Miami or you went to wherever, Los Angeles, somewhere, and you saw these shows, you can see all these massive shows and everything. It's far, far greater than that. It's a, full real life show. It's not just Disney's world. It's real life world. And it's extremely fearful. And only Arjuna is seeing it. And the other person seeing it is? Who is the other person seeing it?
Sanjaya.
Yeah, very good. Shiva. Sanjaya is seeing it because he is seeing that and speaking about it to whom?
Dhritarashtra.
Yeah, that is the first shloka. Dhritarashtra uvacha dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamakas pandavas chaiva kim akurvata sanjaya. This is the first shloka of the Bhagavad Gita. Dhritarashtra uvacha. Only one shloka he spoke in the Bhagavad Gita. After that, he was like completely hearing. Because what he is showing here is all the sons of Dhritarashtra will die. That he's showing fast forward. And you must imagine that Dhritarashtra would have seen it. Yes or no? At least it would have been described by Sanjaya. Sanjaya is only saying these things. All the sons of Dhritarashtra are going into the mouth. But you can imagine, even then Dhritarashtra has hope. That is only a form. War has not yet happened. My sons are standing to fight the war. But he doesn't understand this is a fast forward. Right? That is why Arjuna is saying afterwards, everything I believe in, whatever you showed. Whatever you said, I believe fully. And then I asked you to show it. And whatever you showed, I fully believe in it. So just understand what's happening there. He is slowly changing. He's getting afraid. He's getting afraid and he's calling it Ghora Rupam. This deadly, fearful form of yours. Right? I'm afraid. Then quickly another change. First he says, I'm afraid. Who are you? What are you? What have you come here for? One question he asks. The next one, Saketi matva prashabam yaduktam. He Krishna, he Yadava, he Saketi. Ajanata mahimanam tavedam maya. Pramadat prayena vapi. Yacha vahasartam asatkrito asi. Vihara sayyasana bhojaneshu eko ativapi achyuta tat samaksham takshamaye tvamaham aprameyam. This is a very beautiful shloka. I will have you actually read it. Shanmuga Priya, would you like to read that?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, go ahead. and
Thinking
read.
of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, not knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in the madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we relax, lay on the same bed, or sat or ate together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. Oh, infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses. Hare Krishna.
Ah. See, the mood is changing for Arjuna. Till now, he was his good friend. And Arjuna, Krishna also called him. He said that you are my bandhu, you are my mitra. Sishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Krishna, first, in the second chapter, you will see Arjuna surrendering to Krishna, accept me as your disciple. And he's been asking questions. Before that, they are friends. And Krishna tells him, because you are my good friend, I'm going to teach you rahasyam ki etad uttamam. Bhaktosi me sakha cheti. Sakha means friend. You're not only my devotee, but you're also my good friend. So I'll speak this great secret to you. And now he's telling, can you show me all that you spoke? And he shows him, he gets afraid. Who are you? What are you? I never knew all these glories about you. I'm seeing it physically now. And then he regrets that like a friend, I did all sorts of things. We sat together, we ate from the same plate. And I was teasing you, I cracked jokes with you. Please excuse me for all those things, offenses that I did. Kshamaye tvam aham apremeyam. Oh, unlimited person. Aprameya means immeasurable. He's saying now, I have done so many wrong things to you. I did not know you are so great. So you see the mood of Arjuna shifting. First he was disciple. Then he became afraid when he saw the form. And then now he's saying, I'm sorry, I must have done all sorts of things. Excuse me. He's become respectful. Actually, this is a lower level relationship. Respectful towards God is the initial thing. Afterwards, dasya, sakya, dasya, vatsalya, and then madhurya. This is a whole gradual hierarchy in that. So now he is going down to the respectful level. You are God, you are great. I'm sorry if I did anything wrong. I treated you as a friend and did this. Higher than that is friend. All Krishna's Gopas who are friends, they go to the forest, they don't remember that Krishna is the Supreme Lord and all. They climb on his shoulder and sit down. They pluck a flower and put in his ears when he's sleeping, and he wakes up with a whoa, tickling me like that. And then they, eat from Krishna's plate. They take from their tiffin carrier and feed Krishna in the mouth. They don't know he's God. In fact, they heard about it, but it doesn't figure in their life because they're so close friends. Respect, that is, it's mentioned Ishvara Bhava, Aishwarya Bhava. That is overcome by friendship, in love, in that taste, in that rasa. But now here what's happening is he was a friend, come down to the respectful level. Excuse me, I'm sorry in case I've done anything wrong. Because he's afraid. He's afraid. Okay? So you must note this change of the mood of Arjuna. If you notice that very carefully. So you'll see this. Oh Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is. And then, we'll come to this. So now, Arjuna has asked him, and Krishna is showing his form very instantly. He didn't go to the boutique and make up, and he said, hold on, I'm coming. It'll take some time. I got to go and stick up all these arms and legs and all these things. No, it instantly manifested from himself. He could instantly do it. That's like yesterday we were discussing about Vamana Dwadashi. Today is Onam for Keralites. Happy Onam to anybody who's here from Kerala, even otherwise. Krishna is actually capable of doing anything in a jiffy, changing his form. He doesn't need to get dressed and all that. When he appeared in his four-handed form to Kashyapa and Aditi, then immediately he just became right in front of the eyes, he just boom, became a dwarf. They were watching him, Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, Narayana giving us darshan, then poof, like a fairy tale, poof, with a magic wand. I say something like that, and boom, the form changes. The princess and the frog and the prince, all these stories, Hans Christian Andersen and that tale, and this is how the frog prince you hear, and then the witch or the fairy and the angel will come and wave the wand, and the frog will become a prince, or the prince will become a frog. The curse of all that amazing things happening, and we think, it's not true. Nobody does that. But actually, Krishna is doing it right in front of everybody. Is boom, universal form. Form of the Lord is a reality. This chapter will teach you that. Don't take the form of the Lord very lightly. As much as you should not take your form lightly also. You solidly believe in it. I have a form. I look at it in the mirror. I deck myself up. I wear the best of clothes. And I walk a little bit and see how it looks. And then I smile, and then I put expressions. You do all these things. Everybody knows what all they do in their bathrooms, under closed doors and windows. All male and female members together. Nowadays, males do it more than the females, I think. It's all like how you look and the form, and I know where I am and what my girth is, what that is, what this is, everything. You're very conscious of your physical form. You know you have one. God also has one. But he has one that he can flip and change, like you change the channel. You can change it like that. That's the amazing thing. And this is happening right in front of Arjuna. Because Arjuna will now tell Krishna, enough of this. I can't stand looking at this anymore. And then immediately Arjuna says, okay, don't worry. You asked for it, I showed you. And I also gave you special eyes. And if you can't stand it, oh my dear devotee, don't worry. And he'll come back to his original form. So the point here is form and substance. In the material world, we talk about form and substance. If you're an architectural student, they'll speak about form and substance to you. How to handle spaces. What is meaning of form? How form is appealing to somebody. Why it is appealing. What makes you give you that. So form is not something just, architecture, this alone. There's something happens inside us. You recognize a form instantly. The child recognizes the mother. Even before the mother walks near it, the child knows his mother from the form. If anybody else walks near, the child also knows this is not my mother. It knows him instantly. But this is a friendly person. It's okay. Senses it. We all have that sense of form. And form is very subtle in your head. Rupa, Gandha, all this is described, the tanmatras. So form is, like seeing the form. All sorts of things can happen inside you. So it's a deep subject. One thing is form, the other thing is substance. In the material world, we are all stuck with form and we don't care much about substance, especially material world. Matter, material form enamors us and we don't care about the substance. But actually, from the substance comes the form. What you see as form is coming from your original form. And between that is your form made of your desires, the subtle body. Based on your subtle body, you have your gross body. Based on your desires, you have your physical body. But it's just the skin that covers it that makes all the difference. Beneath the skin, everybody is the same. Bone, marrow, blood, veins, stool, urine, and you name it. All that stuff is inside, real horrible stuff. But it's nicely sewed in with a beautiful skin. And it is a skin that you see and think, wow, how beautiful, how handsome. Beauty is but skin deep. You've heard about this. I think it's a Shakespearean term. Beauty is but skin deep. You peel off the skin, everybody is a mass of flesh and useless stuff. But the material form of beings is based on that. And then there is form of many material objects also in this world. But this universal form, which Krishna is showing, that is why he's telling Arjuna, this eyes won't do for it. I'll have to give you divine eyes. I have to give you divine eyes. So Krishna's form is not like yours. You also have a spiritual form. Right now, from that spiritual form is the spirit soul condensed. And then you are having a subtle body filled with desires from the past that makes up your gross body. From your desires is coming your body. When you look at a dog, Prabhupada said, you know that this soul has got doggish desires. So he has manifested a dog's body to enjoy those desires. When you look at a donkey, you know that soul has got donkey desires, donkeyish desires. And he has manifested a donkeyish body to enjoy those desires. So your physical form in variation is an expression of your desires, your subtle body. Okay? But you have a spiritual permanent body in association with the Supreme Lord. That is super beautiful. That is permanent. That is forever. That is eternal. Okay? Think about these things about form. I will catch up with you in the next session. Okay? Any questions?